sees that as one that he perhaps could have done better with. Well, of last season, as far as Gylfi Sigurdsson was concerned, was a struggle to settle at Everton. And, it was a difficult season for most here at this club. This year, he has improved what is already his best ever goal-scoring season. It is 13 in the Premier League, 14 in all competitions for him, and his 5th in the last 9 against Manchester United. Martial. He's another one who's had a very strong season for Everton. Got better as it's gone on, hasn't he? Schneidlin. But he got enough of the ball, so there wasn't going to be a free kick, but the man who might have saw it a different way. Yeah, those kind of challenges always tend to attract the eye of the ref. Schneidlin, whose spell at Old Trafford was a largely unhappy one, given his former club good opportunity here to test Jordan Pickford and Everton. Rashford. Lewin got his head to it. Sigurdsson clears. Fred. Great interception there by Dink as Rashford had come up through the gears. Bernard, Calvert-Lewin. One-on-one with Smalling, looking to feed Bernard. Jones across, and I think Phil Jones has hurt himself in making that challenge. He flew in, Phil Jones, and he looks in real bother here.
Yeah. He picked up a knock earlier on. I don't know if it's the same injury, but he come racing across in typical Phil Jones fashion.
That is slow motion, by the way.
I don't know if it was the impact or a twist as he slipped. It must feel a lot different to what he did a month or so back, when the results were coming freely, when he was the caretaker boss, the saviour.
We were all hailing that result, that comeback in the Parc des Princes, as a result that would define his managerial tenure. He got the job shortly after that. Since then, though, for one reason or another, 5 defeats in 7 games, 2 scratchy wins and 2-0 down here with 5 first half minutes left to play. Phil Jones will soldier on. Vallo very nearly caught out there. Manchester United will just want to get in at half-time. They're not enjoying themselves out here at all. Richarlison is.
That was just a catalogue of errors. Vallo wasn't ready for the throw-out. We'd like to see half-time United, I think. Just turns his back, doesn't think it's coming his way, Dallo. And Fred slips. A vital moment.
Down on Pogba. Bernard. Just again.
He was on to Richarlison now.
Kaku. Coleman.
We'll be glad to see half-time United, I think.
He's had a mixed reception at best, I think it's fair to say, Romelu Lukaku, but did badly out of the deal, didn't they, Everton? £90 million.
Value for money when you see it.
Smalling out of Lewin. He's been speaking on a fairly regular basis to the media recently, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, talking about his ambition to be seen as a good top English striker in the Premier League. He's done here so far this afternoon, although not really threatening the goal. Did play a part in it.
He was a midfielder until 18. He did an interview with Stevie a couple of weeks back. So he's only been a striker for 4 years.
Dean, Smalling away. This again. Schneiderlin. That's a free kick. A little bit left on Richarlison by his compatriot Fred.
Dello, wasn't it? More than Fred. A chance to swing in a good ball here for Everton just before half time.
By Sigurdsson. Gallows header initially, and then that of Matic. Great composure there from Seamus Coleman to Rashford into space.
Done virtually everything right this first half, Everton. A terrific performance.
Richarlison. Not into a free kick now. French should be able to clear. Sigurdsson. Out by Dalot. Well, there's barely been a first half development, Alan, in which Everton haven't been dominant.
No, as I said, they have been excellent. United, less so. Need a vast improvement if they're going to get back into this, the visitors.
Talked about their patchy recent record, but it's now 11 games without a clean sheet for Manchester United in all competitions. Judged by Zuma, no harm done. Pogba. Nearly done by Schneiderlin, who gives Richarlison something to chase.
He took a blow to the ribs, Richarlison, and he's struggling.
Stoppage time as Richarlison gets some treatment. Well, it remains something of an Everton enigma, doesn't it? How they can play so well against Arsenal, so poorly against Fulham, and then turn on this first half display here.
They had such a poor record against the top six before the Chelsea game, and they've not looked back since, really.
Yeah, 7 years since they've beaten 3 in a row here, and they're well on the way to doing that. This is what happened to Richarlison, the reason he's having treatment.
Doesn't look loads in it. Not just a stretch to muscle down there.
Big half-time team talk, a big Manchester United turnaround in performance, in attitude, in application. They've been outfought and outthought by Everton in this first period. Richarlison's back on, 11 against 11. Lukaku against Keane.
Pogba making the run off the centre forward. Try and do a bit more of that if they can.
It's noticeable how little we've mentioned the main men for Manchester United: Pogba, Martial, Rashford, Lukaku, all pretty peripheral. Zuma. An excellent Everton first half draws to a close. Richarlison set Everton on their way. Gylfi Sigurdsson fired in a second to double the lead. David De Gea with another moment to reflect on that he could have perhaps handled better. Everton in charge at half-time. They lead Manchester United 2-0.
Who's ate all the toffees?
Hey, BMW.
Yes, but I think Liverpool have to expect that they're going to win every single game. So Liverpool have to turn up today. They know what they have to do. I still think there may be a twist or a turn. For me, it's City going to Old Trafford on Wednesday, and for Liverpool, it's when they go to Newcastle. I think they're the games. From where I'm standing, anyway, looking at those, that's the games I'd be nervous if I was in City's shoes or in Liverpool's shoes. Those two games.
Great stuff, Graham. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
do appreciate
Graham.
you coming down very last minute.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cheers. Apologies for the sound issues on that cross as well. One of the things that we didn't get a chance to talk about, but really interesting to talk to you about, Nigel, would be the PFA nominees, which were announced, of course, yesterday. Aguero, Bernardo Silva, Van Dijk, Sterling, Hazard and Mane. We thought it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on Virgil van Dijk, of course, because he's had such a huge impact on Liverpool's season this season. The only defender in there as well.
Yeah.
It's how impressed have you been with his performances?
Well, he's continued to develop as a player. I mean, I think when he went there, I mean, he was always a very good performer for Southampton. But since he's gone there, I mean, they look a more competent and solid defensive unit. I think he's an outstanding player, and being a defender myself, or an ex-defender, and one being on there, well, that shows you the type of season he's had. The fact that he's on there competing, some of the other names on there, yeah, really good player.
It's a great stat.
How many clean sheets this year?
Well, a number of clean sheets they've had. The stat I was going to give you, he's not been dribbled past in the last 57 appearances in all competitions since March 2018. Of course, he's going to face dribbling machine in Messi in the Champions League, who has successfully dribbled 122 times this season.
Yeah.
Throwing the stats at you, how do you think?
Do you know what makes me smile about that?
Yeah.
That somebody sat down
and counted them all
and put together.
With great pride,
yeah,
as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I mean,
sometimes what counts as a dribble? If they push the ball to the side and shoot, is that not counted?
So, what's your job description? Yeah, I'm a dribble counter. I've dribbled a few times in my life.
If you sit in the bar with Cam, you end up counting his dribbles as well.
We're relics, Nigel. When we smile and laugh at
but the point
look, I'm a big believer in
the point still remains that he has been incredibly strong in defence, and people find it difficult to get past him. Essentially,
good pace, good mobility, reads the game very, very well. Fantastic athlete. So, I think one of the best offensive players know when the defender makes a mistake. Now, whether that can be your body weight shifting just slightly in the wrong direction. We talked about Vardy's run.
Yes.
About he makes that movement as the defender either looks away or moves the other way. It's a similar type of thing. And for a defender to be so good in 1v1s, and it just makes it safer for the team. You know you can leave, you can go 1-for-1 everywhere instead of having a spare man at the back. So when you've got a player who's so good in 1v1 situations,
But that was your forte, wasn't it? Because you were never the quickest, but you could read it.
Read the game well, yeah. Read the game well, and got younger players to do my run. Always a good thing to do. But no, look, you have to understand what you are as a player. I think we talk about individuals' strengths as players, and we wax lyrical about what they can and can't do. It's also a huge strength of a player to understand what they are, what they're good at, what they're not good at, and simplify the game. You know, so he's a very, very self-assured player. But I think what he has, how he's improved, is he understands his role within the team. He's not. I mean, maybe in the past people could have said he struts a bit, but for me, he's a safe defender.
18 clean sheets is what you asked. 18 clean sheets in the Premier League. Can they beat Barcelona, do you think, in the Champions League?
Who knows? If he plays well, possibly. I don't know. You know, it's Barcelona, such an incredible team.
Messi was like the kid in the schoolyard, wasn't he, against Manchester United, who just beats everyone.
Yeah.
It was like, you can't do that.
And he just does.
But in my opinion, I think the Premier League for Liverpool is so important. It's so important. I think it would be good for the game if Liverpool once again.
Will they?
They've got a chance. They've got a chance. But Graham's right with what he said. I mean, we make the assumptions that Man City and Liverpool will win their games, but football, the script writers don't always agree. There'll be something yet which.
Okay. Just 3 days after knocking Manchester City out of the Champions League, Tottenham were back at the 3 Premier League points up for grabs. Commmentary comes from Gary Neville and Martin.
Then he's gone and dive, and then it's gone past them.
Yeah, I don't understand this, huh? He sees it coming all the way. He's got to do better. Move his feet quicker.
But I think he's waiting for that bounce, and it's gone past him. I mean, it's a poor.
Does that go down as another goalkeeper error from David De Gea, Louis?
I'm sure that he's unhappy about it, because when you see any player who is going to strike, and I think that we know that this striker has got some pace on his ball, you have to dive as quick as possible, because there is no bouncing or stuff like this. You have to make sure that your length is out there, and he waits a split of a second. I don't understand that. I think it will be very unhappy about.
And the stats tell us that Everton have run 4 kilometres further than Manchester United as well. That's in effect 400 metres per outfield player. They literally have been lapped in that first half, United. Everything rosy in Everton's garden, though, in that first 45 minutes. United not even had a shot on target. It has to get better for Solskjaer and his team.
There's a dribbling.
I'm the answer, no second guesses. I wear what I want, I barely wear dresses. I've been doing this way before adolescence. I turned all my laws into yeses. Gotta be me, gotta be me. The dream that I see makes me what I am. I gotta be me.
Angie. Well, we're doing everything we can to save what we have.
We all want to make big changes to help our planet, but sometimes to make big changes, we have to start small. Smart meters can't solve climate change on their own, but with the smarter, more energy-efficient grid they help to create, they're a start.
I want to live in a beautiful world.
Search I want a smart meter or call 0300 131 8000 today.
Pioneers pushed the boundaries. Technology gave us speed. Rivalries gave us drama. Television brought us closer. We gave it a home. Here's to a new chapter. Welcome to 2019, live on Sky Sports F1. And it's lights out.
Great win for Cardiff City midweek at Brighton gave them a huge lift in their fight to stay up and now an even bigger challenge. Can Mendes-Lang scored that stunning goal and Sean Morrison with the second midweek combine again to see off Liverpool. That's at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And what a week we have coming your way in the Premier League. Cardiff-Liverpool still to come here on Super Sunday. Then tomorrow night we watch Chelsea-Burnley, Spurs-Brighton on Tuesday. It's the Manchester Derby on Wednesday and Liverpool again in action against Huddersfield on Friday Night Football. All those games even better in Ultra HD. Double change on the way for Manchester United. McTominay for Fred. Ashley Young here coming on for Phil Jones. United have it all to do at Goodison.
Lads, and everybody, Chris get a bigger payout on your football accumulator by hitting the boost button to boost your ACCA odds.
So, Chris, it's an ACCA boosty.
I don't get it.
ACCA boosty, ACCA boosty. ACCA boosty, ACCA boosty.
I still don't get it.
ACCA boosty, ACCA boosty.
Ladbrokes, where the nation plays.
1981, the last time that Manchester United lost 5 consecutive away games in all competitions. That is facing them here at Goodison Park this afternoon. Louis Saha, you said you were disturbed by that first half. What do you expect from Manchester United now?
Yeah, they need a reaction physically. They need to match what Everton has done. They've done brilliantly. To go 2-0 up with a team like this, I think it's a statement that they were motivated. But the thing is, I think United need to be more aggressive. That's not about tactic anymore.
Everton chasing 3 straight home wins here as well. Don't forget that. Alan Smith and Bill Leslie.
Yeah, it's all teed up nicely, isn't it? Can Manchester United turn the tide in this match? They have previous in that respect. Not just this season either. Remember that game against Newcastle at Old Trafford? They were 2-0 down in that and came back and won it. In fact, no side over the Premier League era has come from 2 down at half-time more than Manchester United had. 2 goals, 2 changes at half-time. There's one of them, Scott McTominay on for the fairly ineffective Fred. And Phil Jones, who picked up a knock lid on in that first half, he's replaced by Ashley Young.
Young going to right back, Lindelof moving into the middle.
Well, it all needs to change for Manchester United. As far as Everton are concerned, more of the same. Just to say they have left it exactly as it was in terms of their lineup for the second half. Here is Lindelof.
It's a test of his motivational abilities, I suppose. That 15 minutes in the dressing room, his tactical acumen. I know Jones was enforced. Can he give the words, produce the difference?
Well, one thing they have to do, which they couldn't do in the first half, is register a shot on target. Two substitutes combining across there. Here is McTominay. Now Young. Lukaku. Swept away by Morgan Schneidlin for Everton. The Everton pressing is unnerving Manchester United. Almost got away with that one, although the intended pass for Pogba had to go via Matic.
Yeah, a couple of United players slipping haven't seen so many Everton lads doing that.
They're more sure-footed in every sense, aren't they, so far this afternoon, Everton? Schneidlin working hard to get back at him, and he's forced the error. With Bernard, Ashley Young scored up the pitch as well. Back now, the half-time substitute. Bernard. Dean. Smalling, his head to it, and now Pogba. Lukaku. Richarlison, who had that rib problem, I should say, towards the end of the first half, just took a knock there in that challenge with Pogba, and he's gone down in a fashion very reminiscent of what we saw in first half stoppage time.
Yeah, he's feeling the same spot. You'd imagine he'll have to come off. I've had a good look at it in that dressing room at half time and giving it a go.
Walcott is getting ready to come on. This is the end of Richarlison's afternoon.
Well, some important players not getting on the ball, not getting involved in this game for Manchester United.
He looks in some difficulty, doesn't he? And getting confirmation that the change will be imminent. Walcott, who since the derby draw here against Liverpool hasn't been in the starting lineup. He's had to make do with a substitute role. It's largely due to the form of Richarlison and Bernard, the two Brazilians on the flank, that forced change. And Everton, as they chase 7th position, we'll hope that it's not too serious and that he will be back in action sooner rather than later.
Well, he's done his bit today, got the ball going with an athletic finish. A lot more to come from this lad in an Everton shirt, you feel sure.
Well, he was smiling then, more of a grimace on the face now as he makes his way off to be replaced by the man 9 years his senior, Theo Walcott.
Let's refer to him as young Theo. He's not, is he?
Smalling. Manchester United look to go route one. Pickford led the bounce, put the ball in. If Everton can see this through, they'd match last season's points tally with still 3 games to play. But Marco Silva say they're targeting 50 points, and of course 7th place, locked in a race for that. And given that Wolves dropped points yesterday, if they can hold on, this would be very good. They'd actually go at Watford on goal difference. Who are chasing Europe on 2 fronts. They could win the FA Cup and get in, or finish 7th if they lose to Manchester City in the final. And 7th place is up for grabs as far as Europe's concerned. That's just behind Calvert-Lewin. Pogba.
Coleman and Martial having a little tangle there. Everton, if you're Marco Silva, you just be anxious that you don't step off it subconsciously as much as anything else. Try and protect what you've got. Lukaku's got to get hold of the ball. One or two have got away from him in this second half already.
You could see the reaction from Matic there as he fizzed one. Really good ball actually into the feet of Lukaku that wasn't brought under control of the big Belgian. Trezeguet, away by Keane. Now Martial. Still more bite to the Everton challenge in this second half, despite Ole Gunnar Solskjaer surely urging a half-time response. Matic. They've worked it to Martial, who looked for Pogba. The blue shirts flooded back, notably that of Trezeguet. Sigurdsson down the line for Walker.
I think we're going to see more of a contest in this second half. United looking at them, they're trying to step it up, trying to be more aggressive.
I'm sure it's been pointed out to them that there will be nothing for them here in this second half unless they can match Everton's fire with a strong blaze of their own. Dean. Trezeguet for Schneiderlin. Bernard. Lovely ball by Gay into Sigurdsson. Now the Lewin. Back to Sigurdsson. Blocked by Smalling this time. An Everton corner.
That's lovely football from Everton. The thing with Sigurdsson, he can let fly with either foot. You can't just show him one way.
Sigurdsson to take the corner. Apologies, by the way, if some bad language filtered through our pitch-side microphones. That's in by Sigurdsson. Between them, Smalling and De Gea got it away. Oh! What a head that is from Luca Dean! He's raised the roof of Goodison. And he's surely secured the points for Everton against Manchester United. He struck that absolutely beautifully.
Well, he only saw that at the very last second, I think, David De Gea. Luca Dean will not hit a sweeter one than that, I suspect, in his entire career. And there's a few blue shirts in front of the keeper, where they're affecting his vision, his eye line. I think they were they? And that is swerved into the corner. It's a decent enough punch initially, but there's no stopping that. There is no stopping this. It's an absolutely beautiful strike, which you would imagine puts this match to bed.
Manchester United need to try and chip away at the arrears as quickly as possible. Martial lost out to Sigurdsson. Pogba sent away by Keane to Sigurdsson again. Dalot. Pogba. Matic. Gay been excellent in breaking up United's attempted attacks in this second half.
He's just perpetual motion, isn't he, Adrisica? He never stops. And it's not senseless running either. There's always a purpose to it.
Calvert-Lewin, slip by Smalling. Here's Calvert-Lewin. Challenged by Young. Corner for Everton.
Oh, United getting the proper run around here. The fans inside Goodison Park absolutely loving it. To get that one right, coming in from the wrong side, Ashley Young.
Well, they want a Big Six club here every week now, Everton. The way they've been playing against them in the last 3 home games. The sun is shining on Goodison, and Everton are making hay here against Manchester United. In by Sigurdsson. De Gea had to get that one off his own line. Back up against Calvert-Lewin, sorry.
How did the ball get that far? I mean, it's just a reflection of how disorganised now they are. Those United players. The front post is completely deserted. That was curling in.
It's good with his feet, David De Gea. We know that. He needed to be there, didn't he? Goodison at its vocal best. Manchester United far from at theirs.
Yeah, and it's Everton at their best. An Everton side we've seen so many times down the years when they're playing at full throttle in front of their own fans. It's what we've come to expect. That's why I think we've been disappointed with the season as a whole. Well, contrast has just been so sharp, hasn't it, between winning the contract and before that.
It'll still be just the 3rd Premier League defeat if Manchester United can't do one of their famous comebacks here. In 17 Premier League games he's been in charge, but the form and the nature of this performance, the Champions League setback, the start of a week that they could salvage so much from their season, Manchester United, and they have been at 6s and 7s for the first hour today.
Yeah, they end up losing this, and they're going to get an awful lot of sticks. So is Solskjaer. An awful lot of questions will be asked. We'll still be thinking about that strike.
He got a couple against Burnley, didn't he, on Boxing Day in a thunking win for Everton. It's his first since. For Barcelona. Barcelona has figured large in the sights of Manchester United. Martial.
Dalot's passing has really let him down.
Walcott's not his best there either, as he gets used to the pace of the game. The pace which is being dictated by the home side. Manchester derby to come on Wednesday. That's at Old Trafford. Chelsea go to Old Trafford this time next week. But, even with this defeat, there'll still be only a couple of places off 4th place. It's the 6 defeats in 8 games that you look at as a barometer of where Manchester United at the moment are going.
Certainly not the way you want to go into a Manchester derby. Not much has got past him today.
Bernard. Sigurdsson. Oh, he's fed Theo Walcott, he's in here. Walcott. It's 4 for Everton. And it's falling apart for Manchester United. Scarcely believable. Undone by Sigurdsson. Theo Walcott has his 4th of the season. And Everton have their 4th of the afternoon.
Well, it's a collector's item, isn't it, this? To see United humiliated in this fashion. Again, it's such shoddy defending. Dalot gets sucked in, gets nowhere near it, in fact miskicks it. But Sigurdsson, he's the man you want on the ball to pick out the pass. You think that touch is a bit much, but no. It's a sure finish from Theo Walcott. David De Gea completely exposed.
Manchester United staring down the barrel of their worst Premier League defeat of the season. Everton enjoying their best day here against Manchester United for many a year. They never get anything in the Premier League against Manchester United. 4 years ago was the last time they even got a win. To go back nearly 3 years from the last time Manchester United tasted a 4-0 defeat. That was when Jose Mourinho took his side to Antonio Conte's Chelsea.
This is an Everton team, though, that's had its ups and downs this season. It's been an underwhelming campaign, you might say. The mood those United defenders have been in, the form they've been in. You know, Walcott is not the kind of figure you want to see coming off the bench with his pace.
The concern is for Manchester United that we've still got 25 minutes plus added time to play. This could be anything the way this is going. Manchester United 2 changes at half-time, but no change in the direction of the match. All those 3 attempts coming in the first half, yet to muster an attempt on target.
When you look at the attacking talent on show, it's an amazing stat.
Gifting it back to Gay and Everton. Now that Lewin on the run, he'll be desperate to get involved in the scoring here, but it's Gay's ball lacked the quality of that of Sigurdsson a few moments ago. Martial. Decent progress there, goes to ground. Not enough in it for a penalty. If there was a foul, it probably came outside the box there.
Yeah, there was certainly a tangle. There was a tugging of a shirt. See, somebody booked for dissent. Some of the shirt was outside, then a little shove. Maybe makes more of it than he might have, Martial.
He talked his way into his first booking of the season, Scott McTominay.
You're looking for leadership. People that aren't going to take this line down in a United shirt. Certainly Solskjaer will be looking for that defiance.
Easter Sunday, fun in the sun for the Evertonians.
I wouldn't have been expecting this. I'd have been hoping for it, but
little lad can't believe what he's seeing. Still a quarter of this contest to go.
Coming along to the match, you're not quite sure what to expect, what mood Everton would have been in after that Fulham performance. United, how would they react to midweek, to getting beat by Barcelona?
Dean to Bernard. Trezeguet. Threatening to release Calvert-Lewin. It was Lindelof's header that put pay to that. Schneidlin catching Pogba, and that'll be a free kick.
They're not letting up Everton, are they? Still trying to stay tight. Not give United comfortable seconds on the ball. And once more, Marcus Silva.
The last time that Everton hit this many was the last time Luca Dean scored. That was that 5-1 win against Burnley on Boxing Day. Here's Rashford. Anthony Martial with the shot, and he shot well wide in the end.
Nice first time pass by Pogba, but having cut inside, he thought he would at least get it on target.
Everton.
This is by a yard or two in the end.
They have to improve on his target practice if he's going to improve on that statistic. Anthony Martial.
Calvert-Lewin has done well to engage those two centre-halves, whoever they might be, Lindelof, Smalling, Jones, before he went off. It's a good movement, good intelligent centre-forward play.
It's been a good weekend for one half of Merseyside. Liverpool arriving in Cardiff for their big game against the Cardiff side, who are fighting for their Premier League lives. That follows us here at Goodison Park. Rashford, and there's a dipping drive. It's over Jordan Pickford's goal. Solskjaer has stayed rooted to his seat, flanked by Michael Carrick and Michael Phelan.
Well, they've already conceded a lot more this season than they had last. United. It's an area of the pitch where they've got to make big improvements.
Zuma. The favourite to get that and shepherd it into the hands of Pickford. One more home game to go for Everton, and that's against Burnley. They got a trip to Crystal Palace, and they finished the season at Spurs. So their chances of a pretty good shout to finish as the best of the rest, and the potential European place that title would bring. Lukaku.
Again, he's touched not quite. That's it. Some fans loving that.
Ian's cross. Walcott's volley. Couldn't connect it from his compatriot Pogba.
Yeah, there's a resigned air to this United team. They look a beaten outfit.
When they went 2-0 down, we asked the question that we would see something about Manchester United's character. Here's Lukaku as they look to add veneer of respectability to the scoreline. Pogba. Matic, wide. I was going to say, Alan, we asked the question about their characters. The answer we've had in the last 40-odd minutes of football since they went 2-0 down has not been a very exciting one or encouraging one for Manchester United fans, and indeed the Manchester United manager. Well, this is a nice moment. They've run out here for a quarter of an hour for James McCarthy, who's had a wretched spell on the sidelines with injury. Been named on the bench a handful of times this season, but he's going to get his first run out of this campaign, replacing the excellent Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, another top-class performance from him. He's so consistent. On the booking, isn't it?
There is Graham Sharp, the legendary Everton striker, now a club ambassador. Among those 160 goals, one of them came in a 5-0 win against Manchester United. That was in October 1984. That was the last time Everton were in this sort of territory against the visitors from up the M62. Manchester United change sees Marcus Rashford taken off. Well, the game is up for Manchester United. They might as well start looking ahead to the derby. No sense in risking players who will be key in that. And presumably that plays a part in that thinking.
Well, he's probably got an 11, Solskjaer, that he feels will turn out against City, but his opinion might have changed over the course of this match. Might have to start thinking again.
Others at the wheel. But this is the afternoon where the wheels have really come off for Manchester United and their Norwegian manager.
Martial now to the middle with Lukaku. See if that can have any effect.
Coleman surging forward. Everton still full of attacking ambition. Beyond Dean. Lukaku. Martial in the middle. So too is Keane, who puts it behind for a rare Manchester United corner. It was scooping low to clear. Dalot. Keane's header is Martial. And it sums up his Manchester United's afternoon. Martial. Matic. Airing around now to try and get his foot on the ball, but it's Lukaku who can do so for Manchester United. Broken up by McCarthy. Bernard scooting forward, looking for Calvert-Lewin.
He's annoyed with himself. It wasn't the easiest ball to take in his stride, Calvert-Lewin, but had he been able to, he chance on goal there.
Pogba. Walcott. Determined to play here. This is not the sort of statistic I thought we'd be dealing with, but Manchester United looking for their first shot on target. 2015, 4 years ago, the last time in a Premier League match that they failed to have a shot on target, and that was at home to Southampton.
Those two Everton centre-halves have been solid once again. They've probably had a lot tougher games, actually. They haven't done a lot wrong at all, Keane and Zuma.
McCarthy, Schneiderlin. Sigurdsson. Walcott's up there, so too Smalling. Here's Coleman!
The fact that Coleman can just wander in there ahead of Dalot and get his shot off.
Martial. Pogba loses out. Dean's hurt himself in making that challenge though. Walcott.
You normally get some kind of response by United to this kind of performance and scoreline, but we've had nothing. Nothing.
There's a chance. He's still down. And Manchester United played on. And it was as a result of that challenge with Pogba at the start of the previous passage of play. Luca Dini's had another really good afternoon for Everton down that left flank. This is how he picked it up.
Tread on his toe. Yeah, I mean, he gets up and down. There's an end product when he does get up the pitch. Defensively, he's solid. He's got some engine on him.
And that's the end of his afternoon. Lademola Lookman is stripped and ready for action. He was going to be coming on to replace Bernard, but it's having to be a change of plan here with Phil Jagielka. He started the last two games, coming on to finish this one. With the sun shining, Alan, and a bank holiday Monday tomorrow, there'll be some fine celebrations in the blue half of this city, and maybe in the red after our second part of Super Sunday as well. But Marco Silva, who said the last home game here against Arsenal was the best performance of the season, I think he'll rethink that after this one, won't he? And Luca Dean playing a significant part in it and getting on the score sheet as well.
Well, we've seen some fine goals, and certainly this was one of them. The purity of the strike. It's really settled down quickly here. Goodison.
Jagielka, who was not expecting to have to come on and play a part, is taped up and ready to go, the 36-year-old. Warm applause from the home support. Club captain is now the team captain. Zuma is the one who's shifted across to right back with Jagielka in the centre. Dallo. That's a lovely ball in by Dallo, which Coleman did very well with. Pickford's come an awfully long way. And may well have manhandled Scott McTominay. He's got away with it.
That's finished it.
Into what happened in St James's Park as he bundled into someone. Not quite as obvious as that one.
Yeah.
Herrera. Martial. Got down low.
It's broken the duck. Every now and again you do see an impetuous side to Jordan Pickford. This is the good side of him. Just trying his neck to get a look at the ball and collects it comfortably.
Which some would argue is what David De Gea should have done with the Sigurdsson first for Everton. Well, as Alan said, confirmation that Manchester United's 7th effort on goal is their first on target in the 86th minute.
It's going to feel like a long few days before the Manchester derby on Wednesday.
You could say that's exactly the sort of game that they'd want to have to get this performance out of their system. It's 2, isn't it? It's exactly the game they want, and it's the last game they'd want. We still have 3 minutes to play, but I think it's fair to say we know where the points are heading today. So, Alan, who's your man of the match?
Well, there's quite a few contenders wearing blue. Luca Digne, the two centre halves. Idrissa Gueye, who's gone off, but I'm going to give it Sigurdsson for everything he's done, not just the goal. In pure class today.
He's kept up his exceptional record against Manchester United and his exceptional season in terms of goal scoring in that number 10 position. He's got better as well. The goal that Richarlison got, they're both neck and neck at the top of the Everton goal scoring chart. Club battle for an Evertonian golden boot. These are strange times. Now we've got to go back to the early 80s to get comparable statistics. 1981, the last time Manchester United lost 5 away games in all competitions on the bounce. 1984, as we touched on already, when Graham Sharp was among the goals, the last time that Everton dealt in this sort of winning margin against Manchester United. I suspect after a performance, a result like this, Gary Neville might think about fast-tracking that list, because he was talking about before kick-off of the Manchester United players who have not been up to it in recent weeks since the form took a nosedive.
Well, this is when recruitment becomes vital. They've got all their ducks in a row, that bring in players of quality. Getting rid of the ones you don't want isn't so easy these days.
Bielka and then Bernard to clear for Everton. Seconds of normal time remaining. Bello. Pereira. There goes Sigurdsson, break up the play, the bounce of the ball goes Pereira's way. Into 4 minutes of added time we go. And Everton add to their 4. Calvert-Lewin. And it's on if he finds the ball to Walcott. Forces him a little wide.
Lindelof just got sucked in there. Walcott just had to step up his pace to protect the ball.
We want 5 is the cry from the Gladys Street end. Sigurdsson. Who got it away. A little bit of banter with the fans in the lower tier of the Gladys Street.
No, it's 4, yeah. Oh yeah, it's
about 2 minutes away from successive clean sheets. Number 4. He clears away.
Well, it's a lovely start for them, wasn't it? Nice and quick and bright, sharp, and they've been impeccable ever since. Everton. Comprehensive of wins, as you're likely to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin.
No, I'm good, man. Yeah, really. Thanks, man.
Now for Everton. Not committing too many forward here, Everton. Their work is done.
And they've kept up the tempo on a hot day down there.
Chocolate. Not committing too many forward here, Everton. Their work is done. The Chocolate will take.